Hi, welcome to day 2 of Beth's book recommendations, and the book I'm going to recommend to you today is The Catcher in the Rye by J D Salinger. Lots and lots of people adore this book. I suppose the reasons for that varied really, because it speaks to you differently each time you read it. I think when you read it as a teenager, you see how rebellious the main character is, and you really love him for the way that he ridicules the older people. He's always calling them phonies, that they put on an act, and really he's right. You know, people do put on an act in life, and he's much fonder of children because they are more straightforward and more innocent. And then as you get older, you kind of see things differently. I think you become much more sympathetic towards Holden, and you see him as still really a child. And that's what this book's about. It's about a boy growing up, and he's just on the cusp of becoming an adult. And he's kind of regretful about leaving his childhood behind him and having to emerge into the adult world. The story starts with him being expelled from school for about the 4th time, I think. There are certain reasons why he's having problems at this stage in his life, which sort of come to light during the course of the novel. And I think probably, you know, the way that other people react to him, you can see he's not a very nice person. He does all sorts of awkward, sort of gauche things that would annoy people. But because you're inside his head as the reader, because this is again told in the first person, you sympathise with him, obviously. I'm just going to read to you the first paragraph of this novel because it's very famous, and it illustrates the style that the whole novel is told in, which is very kind of a colloquial, a very kind of languorous, I would call it, a very languorous style. If you really want to hear about it, the first thing that you'll probably want to know is where I was born and what my lousy childhood was like, and how my parents were occupied and all that before they had me, and all that David Copperfield kind of crap. But I don't feel like going into it. In the first place, that stuff bores me. And in the second place, my parents would have about 2 hemorrhages apiece if I told anything pretty personal about them. They're quite touchy about anything like that, especially my father. They're nice and all, I'm not saying that, but they're also touchy as hell. Besides, I'm not going to tell you my whole goddamn autobiography or anything. I'll just tell you about this madman stuff that happened to me around last Christmas, before I got pretty run down and had to come out here and take it easy. And I think that last little bit gives you a clue as to his state of mind and kind of what happens to him probably after the end of the novel, but I'm not going to give any of that away now. I just want to finish by saying that not only is this enjoyable to read because of the style in which it's written, because you identify so strongly with Holden, it's also humorous. There's lots of humour in there, and it's also incredibly poignant, which I think is what comes through more when you're an older reader and you're reading it and looking back on Holden and his experiences. So another one for you to enjoy. See you tomorrow. Bye.